as an example. But so what are we doing? Let's see here. I'm going to go into, let me grab something real quick. Sorry. So smart would have had this prepared in advance. Eartha sent me a PRD. There's a lot of ways to call this document. PRD. What do you call it, Dean? The document for specifications.
I call it a PRD. I've seen it called a BRD too, a business.
It has, yeah. So it has like 2,000 names.
And what does PRD stand for, please?
So usually means like product requirement documents, but sometimes people mean it to be project requirement documents. And basically it's what do we want to build? It's a plan. So I asked Eartha, do you have a plan? Do you have a PRD? Do you have a whatever? And this is what she sent. And I saw, we have an hour together, not even less now, actually. I was like, we can't build this an hour together from scratch, but I could prepare it and then we could go over it and talk about learn concepts together using this project. So I built this. If I'm well rested and caffeinated, yeah, I probably could do this in under an hour.
But you just take your time, Max.
Yeah, no, I took my time building this, with kids yelling in my ear and stuff. And just really quick, what are we doing? We, background, I guess we're going to have a website. Now, I don't have access to any of these things or stuff. The only thing I had access was to the Makedotcom account of Eartha's, right? I have developer access there. But I'm imagining there's a website, right? Like Divinity Tech or whatever, the website. And there's going to be potentially 2 forms on that website, amongst other stuff. This could be like a visitor form, like here, sign up here, and we'll give you a free PDF, or we'll pray for you or whatever. We call it a lead generation form, and then a second form, which would be like a prayer request form. So again, I didn't have access to Tally. Like she's using Tally, which is a form solution that integrates very, very easily with Makedotcom, and it's free too. They have a free tier that's very generous. So if you ever want to make a form with Makedotcom, I suggest tally.so. And what does it do in short? They could sign up to the form, the lead generation. We want to add them into our little mini CRM, which we're using Airtable to do. Right, we know CRM is our customer relation management system. And then we're going to add them. If they already exist, then we just need to update it maybe, and then we're going to send them an email responding immediately. Hey, thanks for joining us. This is what we offer. Blah blah blah. Maybe like here's our prayer request link. Whatever you want to put in that first email, and then we want to record records of us sending emails, and then there'll be prayer requests, right?
Right.
You want to have prayer requests, and what's important about prayer requests is we have to actually fulfill them. We'll have a form giving us information about a prayer request, but then we have to have like some sort of field to recognize whether we fulfilled it or not, some sort of way to easily navigate that, right? So we'll just go over what I threw together and learn along the way. Interrupt, ask questions as we're going.
I have one question before you even get started.
Please. Yeah, please.
What do you think about what we're trying to build here? Do you think that I'm just playing at this, or this is something that can actually be utilized for, for a church or a minister or somebody like that, or even a prayer group or something?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I mean, conceptually, what you're doing, you're collecting their information so you could reach them, so you could contact them.
Yeah.
And you're offering them prayer requests. And maybe you might want to have some sort of limitation. I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay.
But fundamentally, I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
My son's the 2-year-old is looking at you guys. Okay, so let's see. I was gonna start with Airtable because it kind of gives us like maybe an idea of like what data we're potentially dealing with. We have now in Airtable we call the entire, let's say, set of worksheets, we call that a base, right? And then each base will consist of tables, right? So we have a base Divinity Tech, and we have 2 tables here, right? We have the contacts and the email. Now, emails are going to serve a double purpose for us. We're going to also go ahead, and now you could do this separately, but I tried to keep it simpler. We'll also note their prayer requests within the email table, and I'll show you how that works. So if I build this on a separate platform, you'd go over here to share and share to web, flip the share to web tab on and copy that link, and then you could move it into any account
Okay.
once you've done that. So
No.
maybe we'll just do that like after you and I could do it afterwards, Eartha, to
Yes.
after the session. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. So conceptually, we have a website, and on there there'll be a form. Now, again, I didn't have access to the form, so I'm simulating sending data from a form to Tally, right? That's what we're doing. Okay, already opened this stuff. I thought I had a little bit, right? Right, and so we have a form, and we're representing this, we're using the webhook to send a message, like we spoke about before. I like to think of it as like, oh, here's an address, like a physical address even, and we're sending a message to that address. So you need the address to make sure the mail arrives, right? So we have the address, and then we have the message. It's a very simple form. You could obviously add whatever information you want in it, but in this form, it's going to have a name, email, and phone number. I noticed you mentioned wanting to have maybe the option of SMS in the future, which is not actually not too hard to set up, by the way.
Okay.
Send SMSs, or even have an AI call them and stuff like that.
Okay. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I have much experience on that. Okay, so conceptually, if they fill out the form, we'll get a message. It'll arrive at our address. And the first step we've gone over this before, is if we want to have some sort of CRM, we don't want to duplicate. We don't have a record for every transaction. We want to have individuals, like a list of clients, and then you could have like records attached to that client. So every time I come back, I'll be recognized by a system. Okay, so if you're going to have a system where there's recognition, you have to have some sort of what we call a key field, like a unique field that can identify that client, or that, whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
Your what do you call them? Your member of your church.
Member.
Your member.
Yes.
Yeah. So first step is we're going to go in and we just check, and we're using again, the email is our key. That's the most common key, but other things can be used, like an ID. And all we're doing is we're searching through Airtable, and we're going to check, hey, does the email match? Do we have somewhere in this base this email? Right? And then that creates a decision. And what I like to do when I have a decision is I use a router. So either yes, the client exists, or no, it doesn't. If it exists, I want to create a record of the email, right? Then I want to send an email. Pretty simple, right? If the client doesn't exist, then we have to create first the client, then create the email entry, and then send the email.
Okay.
Right? And that's how you could identify. Let's say somebody who's already filled out that form on your front page is returning. You don't want them to be treated like they're a stranger. Like, oh, hey, welcome back, Sam. Blessings. I noticed we've prayed for you 4 times. We hope like whatever. You could do all sorts of goody once you have history with the client.
Right.
So it's very important to make sure you have records of your clients and your relationship with them. Yeah, so we'll just go ahead and we'll test this real quick. This is already on. I left this on. So I'm back up so we could watch it perform. I'm going to simulate filling out the form, right? I'm going to just run this module. Okay. It got the message, arrived at the address. It's checking. Does the client exist? No, this client does not exist. It's going to create the client. It's going to create an email record. Then it's going to send the email. Let's first look how that looks in the table. Right. So here's the contact was created. There I am. And you see
that's beautiful.
There's an email link to it. Right. And here's the email that was composed. It's a very simple like message, which has different categories. We can look at those too. And then I should have an email. Why is my email closed? Don't ask me. Okay. And here. Send receive. Okay, well, that's loading up.
Mhm.
Oh, it came already. Okay. Now it's a really simple message, right? Hey, use my name. Welcome to our organization. Whatever you want, blessings, Divinity Tech Team, right? But let's say now I fill out that form again. So we're going to simulate filling that form again. I return. I'm 90 years old. I forgot I'd already filled this out, but I filled out again. I saw your advertisement. Like, oh, I haven't filled this out before. Let me fill this out. So I fill it out again. You'll see it recognizes me. Client exists. Went up this way.
Yep.
Return client message. I look in the Airtable.
Word.
We only have one contact, but now we have new email link to that contact. Right. And we have here what we call a calculation column, which is counting how many entries we have here in the emails. So, well, how many entries in the follow-up email. Sorry, this is for the follow-up system. But you could do, so let's see here, do an example here of that. Actually, we're going to add here a count. It's called count. We're going to go to emails, right? And we just call this total email. And we create field and see
Yeah.
this client has received 2 emails. It's just counting how many records are here. That's all that is. And then, Airtables could be very beautiful. Like you could create a new view over here. And let's just do, I don't know, like a list, even though list doesn't look very good. Right. And see, here's a list of your clients. And you could click on the client. Oops. This. You can see the fields. Here's each
Yes.
email. And you could click on the email to go to each individual email, which is jumping to the email table. Right.
That's awesome.
So that's just an example of a different view.
Yes.
I'm going to delete that because that's not a nice view. It's not a good view. Okay, and then we'll check my email. I returned. I forgot I had filled this out before. Thanks for reaching out again. Hey, have you filled out a prayer request yet? Or, like whatever. You could put, and by the way, you can use HTML and make it nicer, spiffier, how it looks. You can make it look much, much more spiffy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we see we have a system for somebody on the front page on our form.
Yeah.
It'll track the content. It'll track returning contact. It'll send emails, keep records of the emails. Yeah, so let's go to the next component. Okay, so now we're sending them to the prayer request, or you have a prayer request page. So because the page is probably open, right? Unless you have a membership login, let's say it is open for our case scenario, then we still have to handle whether it's a returning client or not.
Okay.
Because it could be just me randomly going on that page. I've never filled out the first page. But it has to handle the same sort of logic we did before.
Right.
Now, when you do that in engineering, generally speaking, as a rule, you want to, because it's a repeated process, you want to make that into its own, let's say, module. A module would be like client handling module or whatever you want to call it. And that module would handle clients and stuff. But I don't want to, make too many scenarios and overcomplicate things with, but yeah. So anyways, it's the same principle. They're going to fill out a form. In this case, if I kept it very simple again, the form for prayer request is their name, email, and the request.
Okay. Perfect.
Right.
Yep.
Or you can even take the name away if you wanted, but we want the email for a key, right?
Yep.
And then we need the request. That's the important part. Okay, so let me go ahead. Yeah, this is already running. So I'm gonna send a prayer request. Well, first let's send a prayer request as a stranger. So we'll say max 2. I call this max AK Moshe 2. Okay, and just we'll send that request. You'll see. Hopefully we'll see. I have to go to maybe a history here real quick. Okay, hopefully this is the right one. Okay, here's max 2, right? So it's searching for max 2. We know that max 2 doesn't exist, so it should go client does not exist path. You'll create the new client,
Yep.
create the email record, new client confirm prayer request received. And then we'll see here what happened in the database. So a new client was added.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have an email. And here's the request. I'll give you subject. Yeah, and you'll see in this one,
Yeah.
I added the field. There's prayer request there. Right there. And what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna sort by created time, and I'm gonna do reverse latest earliest.
Okay.
That means the most recent message will be on the top. So I'll see, okay, the last message we received in the system was here as a prayer request. Right. And then we could do with the views. Again, the views add a lot of power, add a lot of functionality.
Mm-hmm.
What we have here in the second system, I didn't add here because I didn't have like a team to send it to. But if you look at the history, sorry, reload the same thing. It ran here and has a path for placeholder for notifying the team.
Okay.
Right. But even if like your team just had a daily thing where they log in and check if their prayer requests,
It's
they
true.
go into the emails, they could click on the prayer gallery, which is a different view of the emails.
Okay.
And what does this view show? It shows people that need prayer requests fulfilled.
Oh.
Right. And well, how do we do that? I'm just filtering. We're checking where the category is a prayer request. So we know this is a prayer request email. And did we pray for the person? Nope. Request received and need prayer.
Okay.
Right. So that's anything that's of that category will show up here. You know, visually it's nicer to deal with. The person who's doing the prayer after they're done praying, they click here. They would be like, okay, I prayed. I prayed. I prayed.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Request received and we prayed. Click on
Yes.
that and what happened? Oh, nice clean. We finished our prayers for the day. All right. So it's all like, it's just with filtering. You know, it's nothing. Filtering and views is all we're doing there. Sorry, one
That's
second. I have
awesome.
to distract the baby. Iski, Shmali, you take care of the baby, please. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we talked about that. Okay, we'll get a placeholder. We have a placeholder to notify the team. We know that prayer requests need to be fulfilled. They'll get a message. You'll see on the view, right? So I think we fulfilled all the basic functionality we needed, except for you also asked for after 48 hours, if they have not received any follow-ups, they should get a follow-up. So the first thing you wanted to keep track of is when they were last contacted.
Okay.
All right.
True.
Because you want to know, has it been 48 hours?
Exactly.
So the way we do that, first of all, in the emails, we obviously have a create time.
Right.
It's a auto generate field. So you just click on here, you click created time, and automatically, whenever a new record's added, it'll automatically stamp the time it created, so you know exactly when the request came in.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
Perfect.
and then let's see. That's the first element. And then you have to have various columns to keep track of the different like variables, right?
Mhm.
We have the category, whether it's a prayer request, or it's a first follow-up, or additional follow-ups, or form response. Form response is like if they filled out the lead generation, right? So we know 3 years, 2 lead generation responses were filled out. And we have 1 prayer request.
Okay.
Is this a contact? Is a link who this email belongs to?
Right.
Oh, do you guys know about the lookup column in Airtable?
Not really, no.
So if I have a linked record, in this example, the linked record is our contacts, right? You could use a lookup field to just pull values from that linked.
Okay.
We had that link. All right, so let me just show you real quick what that means. We go here, you type lookup, right? And you'll pick what the source is, where we linked this email to. So we linked it to the contacts, the only link we have, right?
Right.
And they could choose a field to show. So we're going to show, I don't know, we'll show number of follow-ups. Right. So now this will pull value that from this table.
Mhm.
which could be very helpful in many scenarios.
Absolutely.
That because that isn't actually helpful. I'm gonna delete that. Okay,
Wow.
so and see here, I pulled the email, the name in case I need those values, right? So we can access from the email itself the contact's name, the contact's email. If you want to have attachments to the emails, there's a field for that too. Okay. And then we added the have we prayed yet column, and I wanted to
Yeah.
represent different states, right?
Yes.
We received a request for prayer, but we have not prayed. We
Mhm.
received a request for prayer, but yeah, we have prayed, or this is not a prayer request at all. This is just like a form or some other thing.
Oh,
Right?
Right.
Yeah. And then if there is a prayer request, it would be here. This column. Another way to do that is just have a prayer request be a completely separate table and then link it to either email or the contact, however you want to set it up. Depends on how the whole system's designed.
Right.
But I found this just to be simple. I just add 2 columns here and it takes care of the job. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was just a easy way to do it.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is
And so now that we have like all those variables, then we could do more with information, right? For example, we have another type of column called what's it called? Calculate, I think. Count. No, is that right? Yeah, count is right.
Okay.
So we talked about this before, right? So in this
Yeah.
case, we have a very specific like formula we're trying to look at, right?
Mhm.
Oh, full emails. No, that's the wrong one. Okay. So number of follow-ups. Now it has to be a follow-up. None of the
Right.
emails we've sent are follow-ups so far. We've
Sure.
covered a confirming a prayer request was received. We've covered the form was filled out on the front page for
Mhm.
new or returning clients, right? So what we want to do here is keep track of also how many follow-ups we do, right? Because we want to make sure, is this the first follow-up in 48 hours?
Mhm.
And maybe a second follow-up, it'll be in 72 hours if you do the second follow-up.
Right.
So it's sort of, you want to have the flexibility to make variables with these values, right? So in this case, we only want to know what the last time they contacted us, which is or the last time we sent a follow-up. A
Okay.
first follow-up. That's a very specific thing. So we have to make sure the category is first follow-up, right?
Yes.
And we have to make sure the category is additional follow-ups, right?
Right.
Because we want to know how many follow-ups total we've sent to them.
Mhm.
Now, why is that important? Why do we need to know how many number of follow-ups we sent to them?
So we can follow up timely. So we need to know when it was created, so we'll know when to follow up and how many follow-ups we have completed as well to close the chain.
Yeah, basically, that's right. Like, we need to know if we're saying like here the scenario is in 48 hours, I want to make sure they have their first follow-up.
Correct.
So I need to know how many follow-ups they've had, and I need to know how long it's been.
Right.
Right. The additional column we created is last contacted. This again is a very specific setup.
Right.
We're going to do a lookup from our emails. So go to, and then from our emails, we're going to sort the records. Right. So let's say I sent them 12 emails. I want to look at the last email I sent them,
Right.
and so we're going to sort it by the created time
Okay.
and the latest earliest. So last email will be the latest email that was created for them, right?
Right.
And we only want one because we just want the date. We just want the time and stamp.
Mhm.
That's all we want. We just want to know when they're last contacted. And so we'll get, even if there's 60 emails, we're just going to get the latest one,
Okay.
that
Nice.
date. Okay. So now we have the variables we need to do the follow up in 2 days, right?
Right.
So the first thing you do is you're going to search through the contacts, right? And I did it, you don't really need to sort it. It's not, it doesn't actually have any value in this scenario, but you could sort it there.
Sure.
And you can choose the view, which fields you're going to output after you've found somebody, right? And then the formula is an important one. So we're only going to pull people. We're only going to consider people if they have no follow-ups. If there are no follow-ups, then let's talk. Let's see if we take the next step. So what this will do is when this runs, there's no limit right now. It'll look through all your contacts. And anybody that has a 0 here will be pulled in to the next step, right? Now, what I did is I filter next. What you could do is actually put it's a whole art. The formula here, it's kind of like learning formulas in Excel. And I don't remember all of them. I actually have to look it up all the time. But for example, if I want to do and, it's like and this, and then you would like this is one element, right?
Yes.
And then comma, and then second element, and then you close that.
Okay.
And that would true. And if both elements are a true, that's because it's and it'll be a true.
Right.
Right. So I don't know if you guys know Boolean arithmetic, but it's another topic. But just the basic usage is and is that if both elements that you're
Right.
comparing are true, then it's
Yeah.
true. Or
Okay.
means if either element is true, then it's true.
Okay.
That's the most common like things you have to deal with. Right. So we know that this client hasn't received a follow-up. What else do we need to know though? They haven't received a follow-up. What else do we need to know?
What it was that they wanted?
Uh,
Not really.
actually, yeah, and you could consider that. That could be a thing. That's not a fundamental
True.
ingredient.
Their email address?
We got that from their contact record.
Okay.
We need to know. So look at it. Well, actually, you can see it right there.
I don't know.
It's hard to see.
Oh, at least 2
See that?
days.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Thank
So we're
you.
going to filter here. We're going to filter here. Now, this is
Okay.
what I call dummy checks. You just make sure it's what's going through is valid. That total number rebuttal means we found something,
Okay.
and then we check if its last contact exists. That means if it doesn't exist, then we've never even contacted them. So these are easy, what I call easy exits. Like like we don't consider this person. But what's critical here is that we use a datetime operator. We get the last contact. Let's say it does exist,
Right.
right? So the total number is greater than 0. Great, pass. They have a last contacted date. Answer this. Thanks. We have a last contacted date, right?
Mhm.
And then the most important, like what we're really after, once we pass the easy stuff, is has it been 2 days,
Right.
right? So the way you do that is we have a last contacted, which reflects this date right here, right? Last contacted date.
That's contacted. Right.
Yeah, and then we're gonna do an operation. Now, you guys are familiar with covered this before, the different operations.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's comparing the first field to this, second, the variable. Like basically that's
Gotcha.
the simplest way to understand it. There's different categories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you see here, I use a basic operator of whether it exists or not. That's here. Text
Yes.
operations. If you're comparing different what we call data types, like text is different than handling numbers.
Right.
Because text are characters, right? So a text comparison would be like, and there's things like case sensitivity you have to consider. You see that case sensitive stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then there's
Right.
numeric operators, and that's where we talk about things greater than, equal than.
Mhm.
And then we have datetime operators, right? And that's earlier than, that's a later
Okay.
than, stuff like that. And then there's other things like time operators, Boolean. Boolean means true or false. Array operators, that's even more complicated. We're comparing arrays.
Okay.
So in this case, we're going to use the datetime operator earlier than, right? And we have to make sure that it's been at least 2 days ago, right?
Right.
Earlier than, add hours, now, and we go back 2 days. All right, you get it?
Yeah, I do.
Negative 48, so negative 48 hours. And you could do like add day.
Yeah.
I'll show you. You could go over here to the calendar. There's a little calendar thing right here.
Mhm.
Where that's where you see these functions, right? So you could do add days, right? You could add now, see right here now. Drag that in here. By the way, it's easy to miss. It's easy to do other things. Use the space right here. I don't know if that's gonna cause an issue, but just things like that. I think Dean ran into an issue with the spacing before.
Yep.
And in this case, if you did days, it'd be -2 days, right? And these are exactly the same. These two things are exactly the same.
Mhm.
The reason I picked 48 is because we talked about in the PRD 48 hours, I'm being like, matching the language, but they're exactly the same. So if all those conditions are met, it'll go to
Yes.
the next phase, which is just creating the email, follow-up email, the record of it, and then sending the email. Whatever's going to be in that email. So we're gonna, let's see, I sent what we'll do is we'll do a little simulation here. Last contacted, we'll go here. We're gonna jerry rig the system. Let's see here. Created time. Oh no, I can't jerry rig created time, can I? Let's see. No, I can't. So we'll have to jerry rig in a different way. So what we'll do is we'll do this. Change this, set up filter, and temporarily I'm gonna do add hour, add add minutes.
Okay.
Add minutes. We're gonna take now. Come on, big money. It's so annoying how that is. Yeah, and then we should do a minute ago
Okay.
instead, right? Pull that out.
Okay.
By the way, notes are very helpful. So you could like add a note here. You add a note, and I can just paste that there, so I can take it back later.
Perfect. Oh, I didn't know
That's
that.
good.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, notes are great. They're great for your own. It's like your documentation of the solution, right? So now, if they haven't been contacted in a minute, it'll think they need to be contacted, right? And we're going to simulate. Right, this is designed to run once per day because you're not going to be contacting more than once a day, anyways. Right? So we're going to run this once. Then we're running it, and look, it passed the test. You can click here to see the test it passed.
Sure it did.
It passed everything. Total number of bundles
Let's see.
passed. Last contacted exists, pass. And it's been at least a minute, pass. And so 2 messages were sent. Okay, and you'll see here the records, the emails, the most recent emails here records. And both words and Max got a message because they both less than a minute, right?
Yep. Exactly.
And they'll get the follow-up message. Here.
Wow.
You'll see. Want to follow up with you, Max? Blessings. Enter first follow-up email content here. Best regards, blah, blah, blah. Right? Whatever is going to be in there. I didn't know what you wanted.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is, I think that it covers everything, right? I'm going to go ahead and edit this back by grabbing here, this, nab that, set up the filter, and replace this. And boom. Oh, I lost now.
The now, yeah.
I do have a talent for attention for detail.
Jesus.
So I'll catch stuff like that. It's a good skill with coding. Attention to detail. Okay, and now I can even get rid of that note because the note was just for that purpose, right? Clean up our mess. Okay, and then we'll save. And now if we run it, it won't pass that test.
Is that still the note icon I see there?
Oh yeah, here. You could click delete if you want to get rid of the icon completely. It's serving no purpose, so that's a very wise move. Yeah. So anyways, I think we covered it. Did we do it? 47,
Yes.
not bad. So now,
I have a couple questions.
yes,
Did you build this on Eartha's account?
this is on her Make account.
Okay.
The Airtable is again on mine, but we could duplicate it and we'd have to reconnect the Airtable modules.
Yeah, I just want to be able to look at this, and of course, this is being recorded, by the way. I didn't mention that to you, Max, when you entered, but I'll look at that again. The other thing is, I know you have a million affiliate links, Max. Do you have one for Airtable?
I'm sure I do.
Okay, because I used Airtable a long time ago. I'm reminded about how useful it is. And so I'm wondering if maybe I should explore that again. Thank
Maybe I
you.
don't. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Oh,
You do.
there it is.
Yeah. The
Okay.
list is growing every day. It looked like.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of your YouTube videos, you include a list of your affiliates, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
not as a list, but in
Okay, well,
context.
all right. Okay. Thank you.
Max,
Okay. Any questions?
I just want to say
Comments?
thank you. This has been so eye-opening. Now, please, I need for you to understand, you running through all of this was seamless and beautiful, and it's like a work of art.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
It's very
Um,
simple. Like for an engineering sense, it's simple
well,
conceptually.
I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your expertise. Thank you for taking time out of your day, from your family, for me, for us to learn this. There is no way that I could have replicated this. Even I've learned so much. I don't want to keep talking because this is so above me. You know what I'm saying? And for you to just take time and just show me how this all works. I, from what I tried, this looks nothing, not even the beginning stages of what you produced. So I almost feel sorry that it was like, oh yeah, well, can we do this? It's like it's so simple. And then I'm seeing this massive thing which was so interconnected. It's like you thought of everything, the categories, the created time, and it's a work of art. So I just want to say thank you so much from my heart. Please, I hope you understand.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. You're making me blush.
No, no, you know what I
No.
mean? It's like, I couldn't have done this.
Let me ask two more questions. Do you want me to post this recording in the Apex community? And is everybody on this call agreeable to that?
Up to Eartha.
Eartha, don't give me that side eye.
You can
So I'm
say
going
no.
to,
You can say no.
I'm going to take that as a yes. And I think that I would also like to, I would also like to post this in the AI marketing forum community because a lot of people there are interested in the automation part, not just the AI part. So if that's okay, I think I'd like to post this video there as well.
I don't have an objection. Again, it's up to if Eartha's cool with it.
The verdict is still out. I have to pray over it.
No, you could follow up with Eartha to.
Okay, all right. Yes, it's really, really helpful. Can't wait to try this stuff out on my own. But Max, you provide us with not only a lot of insight, but a lot of confidence. So
Yeah,
Thank
we just have to
you.
close the gaps. Like some of these things, they're hard to understand and it can be very confusing because there's a lot of variables going on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of different columns. Like there's a count column, a formula column, and what's the difference, and link records, and
yeah.
so it does take practice. It takes repetition, based on how technical your mind is.
Mhm.
But it's achievable. Anybody can. This level of stuff you can achieve for sure.
And with the
Correct.
community, you have support to answer your questions.
Yep, that's the thing. Like you guys gotta. The community's there. Like the whole purpose is like I test something, I make something, I try to make something it's not working, and so the community's there. You could record a little video explaining what you're trying to do and where it broke down. Can anybody provide help? Maybe we can't help, but like you won't know unless you post something. So don't be shy. And
Okay. All right. If ever I want Max to get back to whatever it is that he does, and I know that the list is long. Dean, thank you too for stepping in here because it'll be easier to reach out to you now that we've met and we've had some time together. And I know that you are pretty proficient at this operation.
I'm not proficient with Make yet.
Okay, well, let's all learn together then because one day I'd like to be.
Me too.
Okay, all right. Does anyone else have anything else to add to this?
Questions, comments, anything? We thought, I'm still here
Max,
for another at least 7 minutes.
just
Okay,
thank
I'm
you
going to go
again for
ahead and I'm going
everything,
to turn
Max.
off
I
the
appreciate it.
recording here.
Could-
Don't say anything important after this.
Consider looking at Academy, Make Academy.
Yes,
Yes.
without a doubt. We've all been through the Make Academy.
Right.
So that would definitely help to interpret a lot of what Max just showed us.
Right.
But you need to have the foundations anyways.
And there's an Academy at Airtable too.
Oh, good. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Dean. Okay,
Max, thank you. I can't thank you enough.
I'm going to go
You
ahead
are
and
a
stop
true
the
blessing.
recording.